What's going on, guys? This is Mike, and today I'm talking about the iPhone 4S on iOS 6. So it's been a while since I've seen a device running the Steve Jobs era of software, but here it is on my iPhone 4S. You may remember a video that I posted not too long ago titled Using an iPhone 4S in 2017. The purpose of that video was pretty much to show how slow the iPhone 4S was on iOS 9. This is the exact same phone from that video, and I was able to downgrade it to iOS 6. So this is a jailbroken iPhone 4S on iOS 9, and I used a jailbreak tweak to partition my phone and install a genuine version of iOS 6 onto this device. So in this video, I'll just be showing you how smooth iOS 6 is on the iPhone 4S, but if you want a separate video showing how to install iOS 6 on an iPhone 4S, I can show you that if you want it, so tell me in the comments below. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in and just see how the iPhone 4S performs on iOS 9. So, on iOS 6, sorry. So, settings, general, about, you can see there, iOS 6.0. One thing that you may notice is my capacity has dropped. Now, that is because part of my storage on this phone is being taken up by iOS 9, and then part of it is being taken up by iOS 6. And I'll talk more about that if you want to see how to do this. So, tell me in the comments below. Anyway, let's clear out all the apps from multitasking, and then let's get into this. So let's open up something pretty simple like camera. You can see there it opens up those like real life shutter, and then it kind of opens with a cool animation there. You can really see it is very skeuomorphic, the Steve Jobs era, and Steve Jobs really liked this lifelike icons and lifelike animations on the iPhone. So it really looks nice here on the iPhone 4S, and personally I like it better than iOS 7 and above. So I'll show that animation again, just because no one gets tired of that animation. You can see there the shutter is open, and it is very snappy. If you open the camera on the iPhone, on this exact same iPhone on iOS 9, I can guarantee the iPhone on iOS 6 will win every single time, just because it's optimized so much better. There's less features that the iPhone has to handle, and of course, planned obsolescence is obviously a thing. Apple says they don't do it, but of course they do it. They want to make your phone feel slow, so you pay to upgrade to a new one. And we obviously have proof here. With a simple application like the camera, it should open at the exact same speed on both firmwares. But if you go back to my other video where this iPhone was on iOS 9, it is much slower. So yeah, the iPhone is much faster on iOS 6. So let's take a whole bunch of photos. You can see no drop in frames takes all the photos. Then jump into photos, we can view all of them. One thing that I do remember on the iPhone 4S on iOS 9 is when I was ever swiping between anything, there would be a severe drop in frames, but right now it seems like this is running at full frame rate. Seems like it's running at like 30 or 60 frames per second, and it's very smooth. Let's try a different application. Let's try weather. You can see, loads it up very fast. You can swipe between cities. And here again, on the iPhone 4S on iOS 9, there was a severe lack in frame rate, especially in weather. It was probably running at like 10 frames per second. It was very choppy, and you can just see here it's very optimized on the iPhone 4S. Let's try calendar. Loads it up very fast. Month, day, list. Pretty much no drop in speed or no stuttering at all. Let's try something a bit more heavy, like let's try Safari actually. Let's try to load something on the web. So I had a preloaded web page here. You can see how fast it loads. Now, of course, this browser is quite outdated and it is dependent on your network speed. But if you put the iPhone 4S that's on iOS 9, compared it to the one on iOS 6 with the same internet connection, I would bet that the iPhone on iOS 6 is faster, just because Apple seems to be slowing down the older iPhones. So let's try to load a different web page. Let's try, I don't know, something that's heavy on media. Let's try CNN. Trump, that's funny. So CNN. It loads fairly fast, but again, this is 2017 websites that's on a device from 2011, I think. So again, not too bad. Anyway, let's try to load something else. Let's try to load something that's not as heavy on the processor, like calculator. as soon as you open it, you can see it loads the buttons and everything in the application as soon as it's open. Something that you would notice in iOS 9 on this exact same phone is when you open the application, you'd probably see like a blank screen for about 1 or 2 seconds, and then the assets inside the application would load, such as the buttons and this bar up top. But here on iOS 6, you can see here, if I close out of the application, close out of it for multitasking, and then open it again, you can see there the buttons are just there as soon as you open the application. So you're saving multiple seconds on every application that you open, and that time really is going to add up. So guys, this is my iPhone 4S on iOS 6 in 2017. Again, tell me in the comments if you want to see a video on how I was able to do this on my jailbroken iPhone. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think planned obsolescence is a thing, or do you think iOS 9 is just too heavy on the processor on the iPhone 4S? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. My name is Mike. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.